Hello, hello, my lovely Padawans, and welcome to all of you Yu-Gi-Oh fans to yet another deck profile. I hope to make it better and not just talk bullshit all the time. So this is my Pharaonic Guardian deck profile. Again, I use 15 random packs to make this deck according to the current ban list, and that's it. So as you can see, no extra deck this time, just the main deck. But this set introduced a really fun assortment of cards to use, such as the Gravekeepers and a spell that most of us still use even today, Book of Moon. Hooray for Pharaonic Guardian, right? So as you can see, this deck is a bit monster heavy with 26 monsters. But that doesn't mean it's bad, because all of these monsters, or at least some of them, can do a lot of crazy stuff. So we begin with Impachi. That's a standard beater, can be used for defense, level 4, 1900, nothing fancy. Then we have Time Eater. Now Time Eater is a really nice card. So if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, your opponent skips their next main phase 1. See, that's a nice little card. It's a level 6 monster, so you have to sacrifice, a tribute monster to summon it, but still, the effect is really nice. Then one copy of a man with Wujat. It's just a standard level 4 spellcaster with a nice effect. Every turn, in each of your standby phases, you can select one set card on your opponent's side of the field. It doesn't matter if it's a spell, trap, or monster. You can pick it up and look at it, and then return it to its original position. So that way you can, have an idea of what your opponent is hiding. Then, a lot of Grave Creeper cards. 3 copies of the Gravekeeper's Assailant. That is one of your main cards, which has to work with Necro Valley, which I unfortunately do not have in this deck because they did not... I don't think it was even in this set. Anyway. But when it declares an attack while Necro Valley is on the field, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and change their battle position. That's it. Then one copy of Gravekeeper Soldier, pretty standard, 1500, and has piercing damage against defense position monsters. 2 copies of Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder. Pretty much when it's on the field, you can use its effect to tribute another Gravekeeper's monster, except for itself. On your field, and then you burn your opponent for 700 damage. So you can pretty much do this as a finishing blow. Let's say you have a couple of Gravekeepers, you draw this, you summon him, you don't bother with battle phase, you don't have to be afraid of back rows and shit, just burn and burn and burn your enemy. Then one of your main cards of the deck is the Gravekeeper's Spy. It's a level 4 dark spellcaster, 2000 defense flip monster. So not just it's very good at in defending you, but its flip effect allows you to special summon a Gravekeeper's monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck, so you can just smash stuff, right? It's really nice. You can flip it and then special summon, let's say this guy or whatever guy, and it allows you +3, each one of these +3, and if you have a Book of Moon, let's say, to flip it again, you can have +4. Then 2 copies of New Doria, pretty standard card. When it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can just target and destroy one monster on the field. And then 2 copies of Gravekeeper's Guard. It's again a flip effect Gravekeeper card that targets a monster your opponent controls and returns it to their hand, which can in most cases get get rid of some nasty cards. Then 2 copies of Poison Mummy, which is again a flip monster. It just when it's flipped, it deals 500 burn damage to your opponent, so that's 1000 damage there if you need it. Then Yomi Ship, that's a weird card. Pretty much when it is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy the monster that destroyed this card. So it's similar to Newdoria, but more specific that it needs to destroy its killer, pretty much, not just any monster. Then 3 copies of Gravekeeper's Curse, that's another of your main cards because it has burn. Let's say you have Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder on the field, you summon Gravekeeper's Curse, when it's summoned you inflict 500 damage to your opponent, then you use Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder effect to tribute Gravekeeper's Curse and burn your enemy for another 700 damage. So there's a lot of burning in this deck, pretty much. Then 1 copy of Servant of Catabolism, which is just a low level monster, low attack monster, but it can attack your opponent's life points directly. So 700 even once can help you out in the long term. Then 2 copies of Cobra Jar, that's another one of those burn monsters. Pretty much it's a flip effect monster. So when you flip it, you can special summon 1 Poison Snake token, and when the Poison Snake token is destroyed as a result of battle, you burn your opponent for 500 life points. And you can do this twice, or 3 times if you want it. Then 1 copy of Jowls of Dark Demise, which is again a flip effect monster, which allows you to take control of 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field until the end of the turn that this card's effect is activated, right? When the control monster, when the stolen / controlled monster attacks, it can attack your opponent's life points directly. So, let's say this monster survived your opponent's barrage, and they have a strong monster, and you flip this, steal their monster, attack them directly, and probably win the game. Now, spells. 2 copies of Different Dimension Capsule. Pretty much you select a card from your deck and remove it from play face down. And during your second standby phase after activation, destroy this card and add the removed card to your hand. So there is a danger. Pretty much your opponent can just destroy your spell, then your banished card will remain banished. But you know, you sometimes win and you sometimes don't. You know, there has to be a risk. 1 copy of Secret Path to the Treasures, which allows you to select 1 face-up monster with an attack equal to 1,000 points or less on your side of I can't speak today. On your side of the field, and then during the turn this card is activated, the selected monster can attack your opponent's life points directly. So pretty much you have, let's say, Poison Mummy, you flip it, you burn it, then you activate, and you attack for 1,000. Right? Easy peasy. Then 1 copy of Book of the Moon, 1 copy of the Quick Spell Pyramid Energy, which allows you to do these 2 things. First, you have to select and activate one of the following effects. Either increase the attack of all face-up monster on your side of the field by 200 points until the end of the turn, or increase the defense on all of your face-up monsters by 500 until the end of the turn. So it can be used for both defense and offense. It's a nice card. Then 1 copy of Card Shuffle. It's a continuous spell card that allows you to pay 300 life points to use its effect, and then you can shuffle either your or your opponent's deck. Pretty much if you are getting bad draws, or just to fuck up your opponent or whatever, if they have some cards that allow them to see what cards they're getting, or allow them to arrange their decks, you know, the top of their decks and whatever, you can just fuck their shit up. And then 2 copies of Buster Rancher. So this is an equipment spell card that only a monster with an attack of 1,000 points or less can be equipped with this, you know, spell card. And then during damage calculation, you increase the attack of the monster equipped with this card by 2,500 points, only if the opponent's monster that battles it is in attack position and its attack is 2,500 or more. Or if the opponent's monster that battles it is in defense position and its defense is 2,500 or more. So pretty much you can use a weak monster to trample over a very powerful monster in either defense or attack, you know? It's situational, but very, very useful in some cases. Then Raigeki Break, very, very old school trap. You discard a card, target a card on the field, and destroy it. Easy peasy. Recklessly Greed, you draw 2 cards and skip your next 2 draw phases. Needle Sealing, when there are 4 or more monsters on the field, you destroy all face-up monsters, easy peasy. Pharaoh's Treasure, after activation, put this face-up card in your deck and shuffle it. I cannot speak today. When you draw this card, send it to the graveyard and add 1 card in your graveyard, except this card to your hand. So pretty much, it's a, I don't know, it's a interesting card, but it can come too late, right? It can come fast, but you know, you don't use it. Well, you can use it whenever you want anyway. It's just a very RNG card, so that you have to activate it. It goes to the deck, shuffle the deck, and when you draw it, then you can, you know, use its second effect and shit. Then 1 copy of Non-Aggression Area. Pretty much you can only activate this card during your standby phase. Then discard 1 card from your hand, and your opponent cannot normal summon, set, and or special summon during his or her next turn, which can be very helpful. And then 1 copy of Curse of the Royal. It's a counter trap, pretty much negates the activation and the effect of a spell or trap card that includes the effects of destroying 1 spell or trap card and destroy it. So pretty much your opponent may use whatever card to destroy one of your back row, and you can save it. And yeah, that was my Pharaonic Guardian deck profile. I hope you enjoy it, and may the Force be with you always.